Okay, everybody, welcome back to Monday Night Ignite. And this is a section where we're going to be learning more about Young Living's business opportunity. And Sarah Roberts is going to be here tonight to teach us about how to learn the basics of the compensation plan in a simple way with using sweet treats. So I know that I saw this somewhere, I don't remember where. And so we're so excited to have Sarah come back. And Sarah has been teaching for the last 15 years. And I love everything it says here. It says, she has children she teaches about oils, dance, Pilates, physical therapy, home education with her children. And tonight we're going to be learning with M&Ms and Skittles, Mentos, Lifesavers, and Hershey Kisses, which all sound delicious, but I hope we're not eating those. But I'm looking forward to learning about this. And go ahead, Sarah.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so that I can get my presentation going. Make sure that that's working. Let's see.
And while we're getting ready, you guys, like we just got back from convention. It was awesome. It's literally one of the best conventions I've been to, and I've been to many because I've been with Young Living for almost 15 years now. And I hope you can make it next year. I hope you bought the ticket that you can watch the recording so you can learn more about what happened for yourself and so many great new products and the new science and the different things we can say about Nature Red now. And I mean, just amazing. And all the farms were represented there. Just, it was a great opportunity. So I hope you can make it next year. And Young Living has been supporting our family for the last, goodness, how many years is that? Like 12 years. Our family of four, and I have my boys now are 22 and 27, and with school and helping with college and all the different things that comes up with having children. And I'll put the link in here in a second with the income disclosure, so that will support that. But Young Living is a great model that not only has the products, but has our wellness, purpose, and abundance. And it's sustainable for the family, and whether for your health or, once again, abundance. And there's just so much that can be done. And it's just really exciting. I love our products. I love the company. The company is stable. It was so great to see Joseph and Jacob in their ages and coming up into learning about this business that their family has created, which they've been in obviously all their life, but how they want to continue furthering this on as they grow up and grow older. And Kate's in the business too, and taking business courses to help out. It's just really exciting. I just love Young Living, and I'm so excited to hear what Sarah has to share tonight.
Thank you so much. I really feel like it is such an honor for me to be here sharing today. I have been a silver with Young Living for several years. I've had the benefit of using the products for I think 7 or 8 years, and just Young Living has blessed our family in so many ways. It paid for my husband's tuition through school. We were able to get him through school debt-free, which was a huge blessing. It gave me the ability to work only part-time while he was going through school and stay home with my kids. I had 4 kids in 5 years. And so that was really fun and exciting time of life. And I don't know what we would have done without the income from Young Living during that time. I would have had to really work full-time, which would have been really hard on me, I think, and my kids. So I'm really grateful for that. Let me just introduce myself a little bit more. So I am also a homeschooling mom, and I have 4 children. These are my 4 children that you can see here. I have 3 boys and a girl, and I'm actually expecting my 5th. And we're excited. I haven't had a child in 6 years, so it's going to be really a new and fun adventure. I also have a background in physical therapy. I've been a physical therapist for 12 years, and that kind of launched me into a love of the human body and a love of movement. And I have found that oils and natural living just meshes with that love and that passion so well. That is one reason that I love the Young Living business so much and have just stuck with it for a while, for a few years. And so that Pilates background has led me into my physical therapy background, and I also have a background in dance, led me into Pilates. And so that's what I spend most of my time doing outside of homeschooling my kids and doing Young Living, is actually instructing Pilates and helping people to feel better in their bodies, and to get well and to just feel fit and happy. And I'm kind of a movement nerd. I love to talk about all the different ways that the body can move. And that just kind of fits in with all of the different things that Young Living has to offer too. So let me just give you a little bit of background on where this presentation came from. So I'm on Bethany Shipley's team. She's amazing. She's a dear friend, and she is so sweet. She asked me to be a presenter at a team gathering that we had back in April. And for some reason, I decided that I wanted to teach on the compensation plan. I don't know. I don't actually know why, because, but I think I just felt like I could bring some clarity and some excitement. And I feel like I've been around for long enough that I kind of get the, I've learned by osmosis a lot of the things that you just learn as a business person in Young Living. And over time, I just felt like I got this kind of a pretty good grasp on the comp plan. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to just kind of like maybe present it in a different way that's visual, that is interactive, so that people can really maybe have a light bulb moment. And that's what I hope for you tonight. I hope that you can have a light bulb moment with some part of the comp plan. I do not pretend to be the best presenter out there in talking about the comp plan, but I just hope that you can understand something in a new way, in a different way, or even just get ideas about how to teach the comp plan to your team in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming and kind of like boring. Sometimes for some personalities, including mine, sometimes it's like, oh gosh, numbers, all the details, I get bogged down in that sort of thing. So I thought it would be really fun to use a visual aid or kind of an interactive element. And my sister Hannah, she was like, what if you used candy? What if you used M&Ms to kind of like, because then you have a manipulative element that you can move around in front of you. And listen, I'm not going to judge you if you want to eat the candy. I love candy. I love M&Ms. I don't eat them a lot, but so it's totally up to you if you want to eat the candy, or if you don't want to eat the candy, or if you don't have it with you, that's totally fine too. I hope you can still experience it and have fun. No judgment if you decide to have some M&Ms, but because I probably would if I had them in front of me. But I totally get it. We're in a natural health environment where we want to encourage each other to make good choices. So the candy is just really a fun way to manipulate and practice and play with the comp plan. Because here's the thing, when you enroll people and they're in your virtual office, there's a lot of pressure to like, oh, how do I organize how do I structure my organization? And it can feel kind of like high pressure, high stakes. You have one chance to move someone, and this is just a chance to be like, I want to see what it would be like if my organization was like this, so this is just a fun opportunity to play. You could totally do this with maybe stickers or felt or, other sorts of manipulative things. It wouldn't have to be candy if you wanted to explore that and teach it. Take this and run with it if you want, and do it your way and have fun with it. Okay, so let's get into the comp plan. So first I wanted to just make sure, if you're brand new to the business, that we kind of have a baseline of understanding a few different definitions. And if you've been around for very long, probably you know what all this means, but it's good to just cover it real quick. So first of all, PV, personal volume. What does PV mean, right? Mostly it basically represents the dollars you spend, or the dollars spent on an order with Young Living. And so someone's PV is just the amount that they've spent and the value of that product. It's a product value, how that's represented in Young Living. Mostly it's dollar for dollar. One PV equals $1 most of the time. There are products where that isn't true. So you just want to always be paying attention when you are calculating commissions, that you're not looking at the dollar amount someone spent, because that could include things like shipping and taxes, and it may not be equivalent to the PV. All of the commissions calculated are based on PV. So just make sure you know that is what you're looking for. The second term is CV, customer volume. We're going to talk about this a little later to kind of clarify it for you, but essentially this means that the amount of PV spent by customers on your level 1. And this is important because it can be contributing to whether or not you qualify for a certain rank or a certain paycheck at different times. Okay, so just keep that in the back of your mind. CV is customer volume. The third term I just wanted to cover is organizational volume, OGV. That's essentially the total sales in your organization in PV. Okay, so in those personal volume points, when you total all those up in your own order and everyone in your organization, that's going to be your OGV. So that is something, again, that's going to be important to know. And then also, I just wanted to make sure we understand the difference between a customer and a brand partner. Chances are, if you're on this call, you're a brand partner and you understand that because you used to be a customer and now you're a brand partner. But if you don't understand, let's just cover it in case someone doesn't know. So a customer is anyone who creates an account with Young Living and purchases product. That person, that's simply what it is. A customer cannot earn a commission with Young Living. A customer can upgrade their account to be a brand partner, and as a brand partner, you can then earn commission with Young Living. So it's really as simple as that. Probably if you are a brand partner, if you became a brand partner within the last year, since last summer, then you purchased a brand partner kit to do so. If you were a brand partner before that, you didn't have to, but that is simply what a brand partner is. Okay, let's get into this a little more. So I want to challenge you to think of your downline as a root system. So sometimes you can get into the virtual office and you can see a bunch of names and it's hard to figure out how everything's connected. Now, it really is quite simple. You, at the top of your organization, are the trunk of the tree. All right? You're the trunk of the tree, and your organization is your root system. Off of the trunk of a tree, usually there are a few big roots, right? If your tree or your plant is very small, those roots are going to be smaller, right? But that's where you get kind of the largest. You've got main roots coming off of the tree trunk, and there's not very many. There's a few of those. And then as those roots descend into the ground and get deeper and deeper, they split off and have more and more and more and more connections and roots getting deeper and deeper into the ground. That's exactly how your organization is. Each of those main roots coming off of your trunk, the trunk that is you in your organization, each of those are your level 1s. Each of those represents the potential for a leg. We'll get into that a little bit later too. But that is those branches off of you, those roots branching off of the main trunk. Then, you have more and more and more and more roots down there. The goal of roots for the plant of a tree or any other plant is to gather nutrition and bring them back into the trunk and then up to the leaves and the rest of the plant, right? So they bring in nutrition, they gather in all, and that all comes back to the trunk. That's your OGV, is all of the nutrition from your entire root system that draws back into your trunk. Okay, so as we go through this, I want you to just think, okay, it's just a root system and things are branching off into the ground, into different roots. Now, if you look in your virtual office, I want you to imagine that root system, instead of going down into the ground, you're flipping it on its side. So your tree trunk is kind of going this way and then everything branches out. For today, when I show you everything, kind of all the different options of, all the learning tools that we're going to use it as if you're at the top of your trunk and then everything's branching down, you'll see. But kind of more similar to the way a tree is actually situated. Okay, so if you have your candy with you, that's great. If not, that's totally fine. You can just still follow along and learn. But I wanted to just cover what everything's going to represent here. So each color of M&M is going to represent a different level in your organization. So like I said, those main tree trunk roots off of you are going to be your level ones, and those are going to be represented by red M&Ms. And then once you go down to a different root, that's going to be your level twos. That's going to be orange M&M. Yellow is going to be your level 3, green is your level 4, blue is your level 5, brown is your level 6. You could organize it however you wanted. I just did Roy G. Biv order because that makes it easy to remember. Then we have our other candies just to kind of represent some other things. At a certain point, we're going to use Mentos to represent a brand partner. We might use some Lifesavers, and that when we use the Lifesavers, that's just going to represent 1,000 OGV so that we don't have to build out a huge organization and count everything up all the time. The O of the Lifesaver represents 1,000 OGV. And then a silver in your organization is going to be represented by a Hershey's Kiss. That's kind of a fun little way to denotate a silver. Okay, so let's look at this a little bit further. Oh, I forgot about this slide. I wanted you guys to approach this. Take a deep breath. Use your favorite oil to kind of like open your mind and relax if you're somebody who feels overwhelmed by the idea of the comp plan. The comp plan is your friend. It is your friend. And let me give you a little background on the context that I presented this before, because I love to talk about vision. I love to cast vision for people. I love to cast vision for brand partners. And that's kind of the context that I presented this the last time that I talked about this idea of understanding the comp plan even further through using M&Ms. But it was in this context of casting vision for your brand partners. And I want you to think about this. If the comp plan feels overwhelming to you, think about how many people you can help in your organization to maximize their paycheck if you understand the comp plan. If you understand how they can actually rank up, how they can achieve a greater paycheck, something that's going to impact their life even more, then don't be afraid of the comp plan. It's the thing that's going to make the difference for them. So understanding the basics of how your structure, the structure of your organization relates to your paycheck and the paychecks of your brand partners is the key to success. So don't be afraid. Let's just do it step by step together. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about these concepts of building your organization. There are so many different ways to do it. And I am not here to tell you exactly how you should structure your organization. I'm here to help you understand how that structure impacts your organization. And so there are two kind of main philosophies when it comes to choosing how you're going to build your structure. One of them is to build wide, and the other is to build deep. And I think, I know that people have reached successful levels with Young Living doing both of these things. So building wide, what that means is, well, we'll get into what it means here in a second. You'll see it. I think it'll be easier to see visually. But if you build wide, what that's going to create in your organization is that you are maximizing your unilevel commission earnings. You are going to earn a greater percentage of unilevel commissions on the front end because you are keeping more of your enrollments on your level 1 and your level 2 closer to you, where you're earning more of a percentage of what they spend in PV every month. Again, we'll go through this if you don't understand the details of how much you're getting paid on each of these levels, don't worry, we'll cover it here in a second. But I just want you to know that this idea of building wide is going to maximize your unilevel commissions earnings, and it's going to prioritize you getting a bigger paycheck a little earlier on. However, you might not rank as soon. You might not rank up quite as soon if you build wide, but you're building with long-term growth in mind. Okay, so those are kind of the keys to understand about if you choose to build your organization in wide, those are going to be some of the results to you doing that. Now, if you build deep, and build deep into your legs, you are going to maximize your generational earnings a lot sooner. And again, we'll get to that. You're going to rank, you may rank a little bit sooner because ranks at executive and above will require you to have people stacked under others. Okay. And and you're also going to get maybe a little bit more short-term growth more rapidly. Okay. And so some people like to build leg by leg by leg by leg. And that can be really fun. That can be really awesome because you're investing in people in your team who are wanting to grow. You might be stacking under them and giving them more support. And also it might mean that you have to kind of start over with another leg at a certain point in order for you to continue to rank up and grow. So those are two ideas, building wide, building deep. We're going to look at both of those options here. Okay, so here you are. Let's look at what it is like. Let's pull out our M&Ms and get started building. Here you are at the top of your screen. You are a diamond, and I made the U purple because I think that's the Royal Crown diamond color. It's just really fun for us to all just envision ourselves as Royal Crown, right? So, but we start out, here we are at the top of our organization. This is our tree trunk. When you enroll your first person, congratulations, that's so amazing. You don't have any choices about where they go in your organization. You are their sponsor and their enroller, okay? Because you don't have anyone else in your team yet. And you now have a organizational volume of 200 and your okay, sorry, I need to back up for 1 second. I didn't give you this baseline information that you need to know. Every person, just for the ease of math and the ease of keeping track of everything here, everyone, including you in your organization in these examples, is spending 100 PV. Okay, so it's easier to calculate. So because in this example right here, you have spent 100 PV and your first enrollment has spent 100 PV, your organizational volume is 200 PV, okay? And you are the rank of associate because you are a brand partner and you have not yet achieved the rank of star. So that's where you are. Congrats, you have enrolled your first person. Now, if you're confused about what I mean by sponsor and enroller, let me give you that background really quickly. An enroller is the person who sign someone up with Young Living. You're the one who referred them to Young Living. You give them your referral number, and so you are their enroller. You have a choice as the enroller to remain the sponsor, which is the person who has this direct link, this black line here connecting you and your first enrollment. That shows who's the sponsor. The person up toward the top is the sponsor of the person here down below. And so with your first enrollment, you're the sponsor and the enroller both. Now we're going to enroll someone else. You have two choices now. If you're going to build wide, then this is what you would do. You would enroll a second person and you are going to remain the enroller and remain the sponsor. And so these two enrollments that you have are both on your level 1. They're both red M&Ms. They're both connected to you directly as both the sponsor and enroller. However, if you wanted to build deep, you could choose to change the sponsor of your second enrollment. And the second enrollment could be stacked. We call this stacking or strategic placement under your first enrollment, your level 1. So that would change the color of this second enrollment's M&M to be orange because now they're on your level 2 because there's someone in between you. So you are the sponsor of your first enrollment, and then your first enrollment is the sponsor of your second enrollment. And so this line where you have the red M&Ms, that's your level 1, and your yellow M&Ms or orange M&Ms, excuse me, are level 2. Now, for both of these examples, you're going to have both the previous example and this example, your PV is still 100, Your OGV is now 300 because you have your order, your 100 PV, and then each of your enrollments has spent 100 PV. So now your OGV is 300 and you remain an associate, which is awesome. Hopefully everybody's tracking so far. I feel like if I open up the chat to look at questions, I'll just get really off. So I'm gonna try to, I will leave time for questions at the end and I'll go back to that chat for anyone who has questions. All right, let's move on. Hopefully you're doing good. So next, we're building to star. Okay, so I want you, if you have M&Ms in front of you, if you have candy in front of you and you want to manipulate your own star organization, do it. Do it. I'm going to give you a couple examples though, if you don't want to do that or if you don't have the candy. So this is one representative of a star. Okay, this is a star who is built wide. Again, we're going back to wide and deep. So if you want to build wide, you could keep all 4 of these enrollments as your level 1. You have 100 PV contributed from each of them. That 400 PV plus your 100 PV qualifies you for star because you have 500 OGV now. So over here on the upper right left-hand corner is kind of all of the requirements that are needed to hit the rank. Okay, so at the rank of star, you need 500 OGV and 100 PV or CV, and that's what you have here. And if you would like to, what I've done here is I've calculated what you would what you would earn in commissions only. So I'm excluding bonuses for this at this point. We'll talk about bonuses here in a minute. Bonuses are actually a lot of times the bulk of your paycheck when you are in the earlier ranks, such as associate star, senior star, even executive. We're going to ignore them for the purpose of comparison here because we're just looking at how placement can affect your paycheck and how much it affects your paycheck at this moment in time. So if I build wide and I keep all 4 of these enrollments as my level 1, I'm going to earn 8% commission on each of those enrollments. So the way that I calculated this paycheck is I added 100, added up all of the PV of each of those red M&Ms. I got 400 PV. I multiplied that by 0.08 to get $32. Okay. And you do not earn commission on your own order, just so you know. So you don't want to calculate that on the whole 500. You're just going to calculate it on the purchases of your level 1s. Okay, so now let's see what would happen if you instead chose to build deep and how that would affect your paycheck at this point. So here's an example. If I wanted to hit star and build deep, I could stack all 3 of those enrollments, those new enrollments under my first enrollment. And I could have 2. So you could do this any way you wanted. They could all be orange M&Ms. They could be, it could be a couple more yellows in there. It just kind of depends on how you decide to structure it. But all of your, you'll see you have one level 1, and then you have 2 level 2s, and you have 1 level 3. Now we've got a yellow M&M down there. So as a star, you can earn on all 3 of those levels, your level 1s, your level 2s, and your level 3s. You're going to earn 8% commission on your level 1. You're going to earn 5% commission on your orange M&Ms, your level 2, and you're going to earn 4% commission on your level 3 or your yellow M&M. So I calculated that and came up with $22. So there's actually a $10 difference in your paycheck simply from changing the structure of your organization and stacking. Now, however, why would you want to lose those $10? You might weigh the benefits here because it might be worth it to you this might be the way that you want to do your business is to actually, maybe your level 1 is someone who wants to get on their feet, get moving with the business, get going and rank up soon. And you're like, I really want to support that. And you start to stack people under them. And that could be a reason you would want to build deep here. And I just want you to know it does affect your paycheck a little bit. You're going to have a $32 paycheck if you build wide, or 22 if you build deep. Again, it's going to change based on the exact numbers everybody orders and all of that, but these are just examples. Okay. But both of those examples, you've hit star at this point. All right, now we're going to play with what it would look like to hit senior star. So this starts to get exciting and fun. A lot more M&Ms on the screen now. So this is, again, just an example. The way that I structured it is I put 6 enrollments as my level 1s. And then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 enrollments as level 2s, and just spread them out pretty evenly across the board. That's building wide, okay? It's kind of spreading everything out evenly across the board. And now this person, now you have hit senior star because you have 100 PV for yourself. And then overall, your 100 PV plus the 100 PV orders of the 19 people you've enrolled equals 2,000 OGV. So you've hit the requirements for senior star. Congratulations, that's amazing. Okay, so let's see if we calculate this paycheck, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna earn 8% on that 600 PV from your red M&Ms and add that to 5% of the, I don't know, let's see, how many are there? 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so that's 1,300 on your orange level, your level 2. You're going to calculate 5% of that. I did that for us, so we didn't have to worry about it, and earned $113. Yay, you've gotten a raise. So isn't that cool? We can give ourselves raises just by enrolling people in Young Living and helping them find life-changing products. Okay, so that's an example of building wide. Let's look at a senior star who's built deep. I just want you to kind of get to get some examples and realize that there's so many ways to do this. None of these reflect my exact organization, okay? These are just examples I came up with. That's why it's really kind of fun to just play around. Okay, so the same thing. I have 19 people enrolled down here to different levels, okay? I've stacked them differently. And I've made my 100 PV order, and my 19 people have all made their 100 PV orders. So overall, I have 2,000 PV or OGV, and I've ranked senior star. And I'm going to earn 8% on those red M&Ms. I'm going to earn 5% on those orange M&Ms. I'm going to earn 4% on the yellow M&Ms, and also now that I'm senior star, 4% on my green. Okay, so you earn down another level, and my paycheck's going to be 92 at that point. Okay, so we're going to move on because that's just basically the same thing, just and just building deep instead of wide. Okay, so I wanted to take a pause. I don't want you to go cross-eyed looking at these structures of like M&Ms, all these lines and everything. So let's take a pause and talk about bonuses, because bonuses really are a huge bulk of your paycheck. You might be like, why would I do all that work and enroll that many people for $113 or whatever? You know, it just, yes, of course, there's always just like the awesome part about like introducing people to these awesome products, but you're kind of like, that's not really like a sustainable paycheck necessarily. You know, what else is there in that bolsters my paycheck? And when you are an associate star, senior star, you're really looking at these bonuses to boost your paycheck. And so the first one is the fast start bonus. Fast start bonus is really great if you're the enroller. So as the enroller, you are going to earn 25% of the PV of the personally enrolled during the first 3 months. So any of those people, if we went back to those structures, any of those people who you had enrolled in the past 3 months, you were going to earn, instead of only unilevel commissions on their order, the 8, 5, or 4%, you're actually going to earn 25% of their PV. So that's awesome. That's a big bump. Secondly, the month that you enroll someone with a starter kit, you actually just get a $25 bonus. So that's what we said for a long time was like, if you enroll someone, then you earn $50. What that is the $25 starter kit bonus and $25 from the fast start bonus put together to make that $50. So really it's true. When you enroll someone with a starter kit, that's a 100 PV starter kit, then you're going to earn $50. Pretty cool. That's awesome. That's going to really bump up your paycheck when you are in those earlier ranks. The third thing, now I am not going to get into all the details of this because the Silverbound bonus is a little complicated. We're not going to cover anything tonight, but I want you to know that it exists. So if you are somebody who you're like, I'm on fire, I want to earn everything I can, I want to like do this as fast as possible, talk to someone in your upline who can direct you to information about the Silverbound bonus. The Silverbound bonus is simply a bonus at different ranks for ranking up within a certain amount of time, a short amount of time, and with a specific organizational structure. I don't want you guys to get bogged down in all of those details tonight, so I'm going to leave that to you. If you want to research that, go for it. If you want to get help from your upline, go for it. If you want to ask me questions about where to get information, go for it. I will point you in the right direction. But I just don't want to get into all the details tonight, but I want you to know that it exists and that it can boost your paycheck as well. Okay, super exciting. Lots of fun stuff here. Let's move on to what does it look like at executive. Now, at executive, there is a new concept that you need to be aware of, and that's the concept of legs. So now I'm just FYI, I'm not going to do a version of wide versus deep for any of the other ranks. I just wanted you to understand that concept. It was easy to show with early ranks, but now you get it. You understand what I mean. But now I want to show you the requirements for hitting executive. So at executive, you need to have 2 legs that are at least 1,000 OGV each. Now, 1,000 OGV or a leg is simply one of those main tree trunk roots coming out of the tree trunk. So you want to have, as a Royal Crown Diamond, you want to have 6 main roots coming out of your trunk that each bring into your organization 35,000 OGV. That's at Royal Crown. Now here at executive, you only have to have 2 of those main roots, and they need to each bring in at least 1,000. Okay, and so here we've got illustrated on one side of your screen leg 1. Leg 1's bringing in 2,800 OGV. Now it doesn't have to bring that much in to qualify you for executive, but that's just where we're getting enough volume for overall. Oops, sorry, I went forward. Now, leg 2 over here on the right side of your screen is bringing in 1,000 OGV. Okay, so now you have what you need. You have 2 legs that are at least at 1,000 OGV, and that qualifies you that's one of the things you need to qualify you for executive. Overall, if you add together all of the organizational volume you have coming into your tree trunk from leg 1, from these 2 M&Ms here in the middle that are just your customers here, your just your personally enrolled customers, and then also your leg 2, if you add it all together, you have 4,000 OGV. Okay, and that is what you need to hit executive. So this executive structure would get you a paycheck of about $157, and you're going to get paid in level commissions, and what you're going to get paid 8% on your level 1s, your red M&Ms. You're going to get 5% on your orange. You're going to get 4% on your yellow and your green and your blue. Now, let me think about this. Do I have that right? That's star, senior star, executive. Okay, you are not going to earn commission on your brown M&Ms yet, because you have not, when you're an executive, you do not earn on your level 6s. You only earn up to your level 5s. Okay, so just be aware that you need to kind of keep that in mind, that at different ranks you earn on different unilevels. Okay, so now let's look at this and think, who in your organization could actually benefit, could actually be earning a paycheck if they were a brand partner? I see a couple people, I spotted a couple. And so I'm going to actually switch out their M&Ms for a Mentos. So if you've created a structure and you look at that structure and you say, okay, this person's earning the OGV, has the OGV of a star. If they became a brand partner, they could start earning money. Or this person has the OGV as a senior star. If they became a brand partner, they could start earning a paycheck. That's what we've done over here is we've switched out some of those customers who could be, we spotted that they could be earning a paycheck. We switched them out for a Mentos. And I'm in my last presentation, I was in person, and so we could just use the little white Mentos, but those really blend into my background. So I had to give you a picture that was a little bit easier to see. But if you want to, you can just switch out your colored M&M for a white Mentos, round Mentos, and that tells you that's a brand partner now. That's someone who's earning a paycheck. And that is really, really exciting. So here we have both of these two people at the top of your legs have become brand partners. And then also there's someone in two other people in your leg one right here and down here who have decided to upgrade their accounts to brand partners. Super exciting. Okay, I want to take just a second to talk about CV, customer volume. I told you, I promised you I would talk about it. Now, customer volume only applies to people to brand partners who are executive or below. So this is kind of the last level that you really are concerned or can take advantage of customer volume. Customer volume was a concept that was introduced about a year ago by Young Living when they kind of redid some things in the website and all of that. And what it does is it enables more people to actually qualify for a paycheck. It's really, really cool. So if you're executive or below, you do not actually have to make 100 PV purchase in order to qualify for a paycheck, which actually up till a year ago, you did. You had to, every single person from associate all the way up to Royal Crown Diamond had to make 100 PV purchase in order to qualify to earn their paycheck. Now, you don't have to have 100 PV, you can have 100 CV. And what CV means is customer volume. There's only like a few sources for CV, and here they are. Your own order contributes to your CV, but also the orders of your customers on your level one, not your brand partners. So these two Mentos who have upgraded, all I did on this slide was I just deleted everything below your level one. Okay, so that's all I did with this executive, is got rid of all of that. So none of that contributes to your CV. Only look at your level one and then get rid of any brand partners on your level one, and whatever those customers have spent added to whatever you have spent in PV in that month equals your CV. And that needs to equal at least 100 in order for you to get paid. But hey, you have so many more sources to contribute to that. So if you're somebody who is really only able to budget for now 50 PV a month for your essential, your loyalty rewards order or anything. I don't know. I think it's loyalty order. I feel like it just changed from subscribe to save to loyalty order. There's some terminology change that was recent, but say you're only able to do the 50 right now, but as long as you get 25 from each of those other customers that are on your level one, you've hit the requirement for what you need in order to earn your paycheck. So that is really, really awesome. Okay, next, let's get excited. Let's rank up to silver. I know this is like such a landmark for so many people. It was for me. I've loved being a silver. And so this is what it looks like. So what I've done is I've switched out, I haven't added anything to the legs. Down here, I haven't added any people, but what we've done is we've switched out the top of the leg. So that red M&M or that brand partner that was at the top of leg one, switched that out for actually 5 lifesavers to represent that that leg has grown to a point where it's contributing 5,000 OGV. And that's awesome. It needs to be at least 4,000 OGV to qualify you for silver. And then the second leg, leg 2, has grown to the point where it's contributing 4,000 OGV. So I have 4 lifesavers over here to in place of that brand partner to represent how much that leg has grown. And so I now at silver, I have those 2 legs at 4,000 each, and that's what I need to qualify me for silver as far as legs are concerned. Now, outside of that, I need my whole volume to be 10,000. Okay, so I have 5,000 here, I have 4,000 here, that's 9,000. And then I have one more lifesaver here. That represents my last 1,000 that I need, and it also represents my PGV, which is a requirement for hitting silver. Basically, that means you need 1,000 OGV outside of your qualifying legs. Okay, so none of the volume from either of these legs can contribute to my PV, but anything that's on my level 1 or outside of those 2 legs, as long as I have a total of 1,000, then that's what gets me qualified for silver. And so here we are, we have our 100 PV, we have our 10,000 OGV, our 5,000 plus 4,000 plus 1,000. Actually, we have 10,200. I wasn't completely accurate on that. And then our 2 legs at 4,000 each, our PGV of 1,000, and that gets us to silver. So that is super exciting. I did not calculate this paycheck, but your paycheck at silver is going to equal not only the unilevel commissions that we've been talking about and the bonuses that we were talking about earlier, all of that still applies, but also you start to get paid on generations. Let's talk about generations, because this is when the comp plan starts to get really, really exciting. And also can be confusing. So hopefully I'll shed some light on generations. So what is a generation? A generation is essentially Young Living's way of rewarding you to equip and serve other brand partners in your team. Young Living doesn't just want us to go out and be the workhorse and enroll everybody. They want us to help people in our team succeed. And this is the way that they reward us for doing that. A generation is essentially the volume of a silver or above in your downline, excluding the volume of any silvers or above in their own downline. Yeah, confusing, I know. It'll make more sense when we're looking at it visually. The generation leadership bonus is what Young Living pays us according to these generations. So you're going to earn, once you hit silver, you're going to earn silver and above. You're going to earn an additional 2.5% bonus on your personal generation, and then at 3% on additional generations. So at a silver level, once you rank silver, you'll earn on your own personal generation plus 2 more generations. At gold, you'll earn on 3 more generations. On platinum, 4, and then it continues up until 7 at Royal Crown. So you're actually earning on 8 generations total, because 7 generations and your own personal. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so I took that silver structure that I had, and what I did is I made the top of this leg a silver. She's ranked silver. And so everyone in her organization, see all of these orange lines down here, everyone down there is contributing, is a part of that generation. So you as a silver are going to earn 2.5% on everything that is connected to you with a black line. You're going to earn an extra 3% on everything that has an orange line, because everything with an orange line is this generation. This is generation 1 over here. Your personal generation is represented by those connected with the black lines, and then generation, your first generation down is going to be represented by the orange lines. Now, let's see what happens when somebody else ranks silver. Oh, sorry. And the way you calculate, I just calculated the generation leadership bonus, not on the personal generation, but on just the additional one. You're going to get paid $300, extra $300 on that, because she has 10,000 OGV. 3% of that is $300. Next, your second leg ranks to silver. Awesome. So we put a little silver kiss there. And so now you have two different silvers that you're earning that $300 bonus on. Okay. So you're earning a generation on the orange and a generation bonus on the purple. So you have 2 different generations that you're earning that bonus on. Now you're getting a $600 bonus, generation leadership bonus. Pretty cool. So now you can see if you're building wide and you have silvers across the board, you're going to earn that bonus on each of those silvers. Now, in our first leg, someone else is going to hit silver down the road, okay, or down the line and down the root system. So now here's what I want to explain to you is that everyone who is connected by the orange is still in that generation of that leg 1, the top of that leg. Now that the next person down here on the yellow or the level 3 has ranked to silver, see how everything below her is connected with the green line? That is a different generation now. So now that this person up here at the top has a silver in their downline, their generation excludes the volume of the silver in their downline. However, because you're silver, you earn on 2 generations down. So you're going to earn a bonus on every silver that you see on your screen right there. You're going to earn on the level 1 silvers and then even on that level 3 silver. So I've calculated that. So when you take the volume of this level 1 silver on your leg 1 and you exclude the volume of their next silver down, so that's going to be 5,000 OGV. Going to take 3% of that, you get 150. Okay, and then you're going to add the 300 from this silver down here that is a new silver that has 10,000 OGV, and then you're also going to earn 300 on this one over here. Okay, so your total generation bonus is going to be 750. Now what happens, I just want to show you what happens if someone under that second generation actually ranks up to silver. So now because you're still a silver, you're not going to earn on the pink generation down here. You're only going to earn on the black generation, your own personal. You're going to earn on the orange, which is your generation 1, and the purple, which is your generation 1. You're going to earn on the green, which is your generation 2, but you're not earning yet on that pink. So we have to subtract that out. Okay, when we calculate. So I've done it for you. You're going to earn still 150 on the orange. You're going to earn 150 now on the green because it's 15,000 minus the 10,000 that next silver has accumulated. And then you're going to earn still your 300 on that leg 2. Okay. Now, what happens if you rank up to gold? You actually do earn on your pink or generation now, because as a gold, you earn another generation deep into your organization. So that is where you're bumping your paychecks coming from. When you rank up, you're actually earning deeper into your organization on the leaders that are successful. And I calculated it basically the exact same structure. If you were a gold, you would earn 900 instead of 600 because you're actually getting paid on that other generation. Okay, so I hope that visual description was somewhat helpful. I know generations can be really confusing, but play around with it. I encourage you to kind of play around and mess around with all of the different manipulatives and see what you can discover there. I wanted to give you some additional places to find resources. Obviously, I didn't go all the way up to Royal Crown Diamond. Once you hit Diamond, you're going to have some additional bonuses that you get, but I think most of us, we really need to focus on understanding these concepts that we talked about tonight, because this is where we get people started. People understand the idea, oh, I'm going to earn more money as I rank up. And so I'm not a diamond, so I don't really understand how the additional bonuses work as well. But here's some other places you can go if you want to learn more. The income disclosure statement. Of course, we talked about money tonight. We always have to point to the income disclosure statement. The virtual office actually has some great videos and some great comp plan training. If you go to the virtual office and then click under member resources and then comp plan, and they actually have a great comp plan brochure that explains and defines a lot of these things in a very concise way. And that is that comp plan brochure there on the bottom. So if you want to keep in touch with me, you can follow me on social media if you want. I would love to keep in touch with you. I'm just as Sarah Roberts on Facebook and Instagram. I actually have 2 accounts. And yeah, now I'd love to open it up for questions. I will open up the chat and look through and see if I see anything, but I think if anybody wants to unmute and share as well, you can. And why don't I stop my share so we can all just see each other as well. Awesome. Again, thanks so much for having me, you guys.
Real quick, Sarah, for those who are looking for you real quick on Facebook, do you have a black and white photo?
I have a photo. I mean, it's a pink background and I'm wearing a black shirt and I have just my hair down. Yeah. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Awesome. Just scrolling through to see. Okay, off the bat, what exactly constitutes an enrollment now? So an enrollment is any customer that you sign up with Young Living. So anyone who has an account is an enrollment. Now, the stipulations for what you're getting paid on them are kind of related to what they purchase. So if someone purchases 100 PV, a starter kit, then you're going to get the starter kit bonus. Okay. But if they order 100 PV or 50 PV or anything other than a starter kit, you're just going to earn the fast start bonus and you're going to earn unilevel commissions on them. Awesome. Let me know if that.
Rebecca asked if you chose to build deep or wide.
Me?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a reason I've been silver for 4 years, almost 5 now. And that is because I have built deep. And it's been, I don't know if I would change it because I'm a very relational person and it really fueled me to pour into the people who were important to me and who I was running the business with. In fact, when I started the business, I already had a strong leg going that wasn't even mine. So that was my first leg. My second leg is where I poured all of my love and attention for the first many months and years of my business. And I don't regret it because I have I have people who are really successful in that way. And I'm working on building my gold leg now, and I have been for a while. And so I'm kind of doing leg by leg. And I think I may have done it a little bit differently after building into my second leg, but so far I built deep. So, but I understand now the benefits of building wide versus deep. And I think there are many great ways to do it. Okay.
I agree with Joni's. I'm not sure if you saw her comment or not, but she said she's dyslexic, and seeing this visual presentation, especially with the colors, right, in the different shapes, has helped her out greatly. And I would agree with that, Joni, because I am dyslexic, and definitely that kind of there's so many different ways for all of us to learn, and that is a great visual and great job with all of that.
Thank you so much. It's just interesting. I mentioned I'm a homeschooling mom, and I have 3 boys and a girl, and then my nephew often joins is part of our kind of homeschooling like collective as well. And then oftentimes my husband's youngest brother, who's only 15 months older than my son. So we often have 5 boys that we're homeschooling at once. And so I feel like that's just, whether or not you're neurotypical, it's, or have a learning challenge, boys just learn differently. And so I think that kind of helps me to think of creative ways to teach. So that's really fun. I'm so grateful to hear that.
And, for those who are on this call, this is the last month for Rise to Rank. So you still have an opportunity to hit that rank, whether it be executive or executive and silver, to win those great prizes. So please make sure you reach out if you don't know if you're qualifying for that. And you have that great opportunity as well. Jill, do you have anything?
I was just over here like going through all the questions. This was phenomenal. I think the more ways that people can look at the comp plan and understand it, the better. I think that we do people a disservice by saying this is the way to learn the comp plan. It's the only way, because we all learn differently. Some people learn walking through their own organization. I remember how I learned was I printed out the income disclosure and I looked at what it would take to get to the next level. And I looked at the comp plan. And then, friends, I sat on live chat. Like, you may be like, what? I literally was like, okay, my goal is to get to this. And I see this in the income disclosure and I see this in the comp plan. Is this what I would need to do? And all of that. And live chat helped me understand the comp plan. So I know sometimes we just go there to check on our shipping or like figure out something else, but like, that's what I did. I didn't have at that time, I had upline support, but I didn't have the support in the way that I needed it to see how I needed to learn. So if somebody is there and they're just not grasping it, open up the conversation to how do you learn best? If it's visual, bring this presentation back up. If it's, actually getting in there and looking at it, sit there with that comp plan and say, what part of this, let's go block by block and see if we can break that down. Ask questions, because the comp plan, it's not something that you just look at and you're like, oh, this makes sense, right? Like, I remember when I was working in medicine, it was, I signed a contract and I worked this many hours and this is what I got. But in such a beautiful business like Young Living, we have so many different ways to make money in our own way and get compensated for what we're doing by sharing. And so to understand that, that's where when you get your check, you're like, I did this. And why did I do this? Well, part of it was Fast Start, part of it was Unilevel, some of this is generational. And when you start to understand it, I think there's more of an appreciation of your checks too. So I just really, really love this. I have nothing to add, but this is just another tool in my toolbox to help other people understand.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me. I really hope that it was a light bulb moment for a lot of different people. And I hope I got to everybody's questions, but I'm sorry if I didn't. Feel free to reach out to me personally if you still have questions, and I'll do my best to answer.
Thank you so much. And one last thing, if you just go back to in your back office and look at your commissions, it literally just explains everything about how you get paid. And you can look at that in correlation with what it says on the website and everything as well. And so you really just can see it, the 10% versus the 25% and all of that. So it's really helpful to go there and look as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you all so much for coming. Sarah, this was very enlightening, and many people are saying how blessed they were by it. So please share this out. It will be located on Jill On Calls or the Grow group. The recording will be there by the end of this week, and then you can share it out. So thank you so much, and look forward to seeing how everyone loves the new convention products. And just make sure you start ordering those so you can get yours and start your journey. Make sure you take before and after photos. Okay, thank you, everybody.